All right, today we're going to dive into Rubiq 2.0, a platform that's all about mastering the entire life cycle of governance, risk, and compliance. But how does it actually work? Well, it all kicks off with one really critical question.
So, where is it? Where's the biggest risk to your business hiding right now? Is it some external threat you're keeping an eye on, a big market shift, maybe a new competitor you haven't even heard of yet? Well, the answer is often way, way closer to home.
Turns out the most dangerous threats aren't always outside your walls. They're usually buried deep inside the mountains of communication your company creates every single day. Yeah, they're hiding in plain sight, in the emails, the contracts, the reports, and all the messages flying back and forth. So, what exactly are we even looking for in all that noise? And maybe more importantly, how do you find the signal without getting totally lost in the static? Here's the thing that's kind of mind-blowing. We're talking about a whopping 80% of your business information. All that unstructured, messy human stuff that traditional systems just can't read. It's basically dark data. And for most places, it is a massive, unmonitored blind spot. To see inside that blind spot, you need a totally different kind of intelligence. And this is where the first piece of our puzzle comes in. An AI that can read and understand all this data at a scale no human team could ever dream of. So the system basically has a two-part brain. On one side, you've got ethos. You can think of it as the conscience. It's always asking why something is being said. Does it make sense ethically, logically? Then on the other side, you have omni. That's the investigator. It's looking for the what, specific threats like fraud or compliance breach. When they work together, they get the context, not just keywords. Let's just follow the trail for a second. Imagine a risky email lands in an inbox. First, it gets pulled in and analyzed by both Ethos and Omni. They don't just spot a suspicious link, they actually understand the language, the intent, the whole context. Then, they take all that complex analysis and translate it into a simple, structured output that a human can actually use. Now, this part is absolutely crucial. You don't just get some vague, annoying alert. You get a full intelligence briefing. Omni points out the key risks, shows you how they could snowball into much bigger problems, and gives you concrete things you can actually do about it. It even gives you a confidence score so you know what to tackle first. And if it's really bad, you can launch a formal investigation with just one click. But finding the threat, that's just step one. The second a risk gets flagged, the whole platform shifts gears. It's no longer about detection, it's all about response. Now you've got to investigate, triage, and act fast. I really like this quote because it just nails this next phase. An alert isn't the end of the story. It's asking, okay, what really happened here? How bad is it? And what on earth do we do now? To answer those questions, you need a dedicated investigator on the case. And that brings us to Remy AI, the AI-powered incident manager that's built to bring order to the chaos. So instead of everyone scrambling for information, you get a single source of truth, a real-time timeline of exactly what happened, a secure vault for all your evidence, a tracker for every single system that was affected, and even a way to start calculating the financial hit. But how does Remy get to the real problem, not just the symptoms? Well, it automates that classic 5 whys technique. It just keeps digging, asking why over and over until it uncovers the fundamental process or system failure that let the whole thing happen in the first place. Of course, an incident isn't just an operational problem, is it? It immediately kicks off another huge question. What are our legal and regulatory obligations? And that's where another specialist AI, Reg AI, jumps in to figure out your reporting duties under laws like GDPR. Okay, so the incident is managed, the fire is out, but we are not done. Not even close. Because now comes the most important step, turning that painful lesson into a permanent improvement. This is where you make that shift from being reactive to being proactive. It's all about building resilience so you don't have to go through this all over again. And to do that, you need a tool for building better governance and better policies. And that's Pam AI's job. Honestly, the best way to think about it is like having a whole team of specialist consultants on speed dial. Need to turn what you just learned into a new enforceable policy? The Policy Writer bot can handle that. Wondering if you're now compliant with something like ISO 27001? The Policy Gap Analyst is on it. Each bot tackles a specific challenge to make your defenses stronger. So we've seen Omni find the risk, Remy handle the incident, and Pam help you improve. But the real magic happens when you connect all of them together.
how do you make sure all these great insights actually lead to action?
That is the job of the Action Center. It is the central nervous system of the entire platform. Think of it like the ultimate project manager. Every single recommendation, legal task, and policy update from every AI module funnels right into this one spot. It's where insights get turned into tasks that are assigned, tracked, and actually completed, so nothing ever falls through the cracks.
In this slide right here, this is where it all clicks into place. This is the entire follow the risk journey, a complete closed-loop cycle. Omni detects the risk, Remy and Reg respond to it. The Action Center makes sure it's resolved, Pam improves your defenses for next time, and finally, a fifth AI wraps it all up for leadership. And that's the last crucial piece of the puzzle. All this granular activity is fantastic, but boards and executives, they need the big picture view. They need to understand the strategic risk landscape, not the status of individual tasks. That's the whole job of REAI. You can think of it as an AI chief of staff. Its entire purpose is to translate all that nitty-gritty operational data from the other AIs into the language of leadership. Executive summaries, risk heat maps, trend charts, and even predictive insights about what might be coming around the corner. Which brings us to our last question, and this one is really for you to think about. Looking at this whole integrated, closed-loop approach, is your organization just reacting to and managing risk as it comes? Or are you ready to build a system to truly master it?